If you grew up with a parent who was there, but not really there, love always feels conditional. Emotionally unavailable parents don't teach you about love with words. They teach you with silence, with absence, with what they consistently didn't do. Here are 5 lessons you probably absorbed without realizing it.
Lesson 1. Love must be earned. Affection came after achievement, after good grades, after good behavior, after not needing too much. On the days you succeeded, you were seen. On the days you struggled, you were invisible. Psychology shows that children in these environments develop conditional self-worth. They learn that love isn't given, it's payment for performance. That belief doesn't disappear when you grow up. It follows you into every room you walk into every relationship. You work harder than everyone else, not for ambition, for proof. Proof that you deserve to be here, that you're worth keeping around. You didn't choose this. You learned it before you could question it.
Lesson 2. Your needs are a burden. You were hungry but didn't want to interrupt. You were scared but didn't want to be dramatic. You were sad, but you could see they were busy. Asking for comfort was met with sighing or distraction or silence that said, "Handle it yourself." So you did. You learned to compress your needs into something smaller, something that wouldn't inconvenience the people you loved. Psychology calls this emotional self-suppression, but you didn't know that word. You just knew one thing. When I need something, I am too much. So you learned to need nothing, and you became very, very good at it. Now you apologize before asking for anything. You minimize your pain. You say you're fine when you're not. Because the child who learned that needing something made them too much is still deciding what's safe to express. Lesson 3. Emotions make people uncomfortable. You cried and someone left the room. You were angry and the air got dangerous. You were excited and it was too loud. Every emotional expression was either too much or inconvenient, so you learned to manage it privately, quickly, before anyone else had to deal with it. Now you apologize for crying. You monitor your reactions in real time, editing yourself down to something more tolerable. Not because you're weak, because you spent years in a classroom where the lesson was, keep your feelings off the table. Nobody wants them here. Lesson 4. You're responsible for everyone's feelings. You watched your parents' mood the way someone watches a storm. If they were quiet, what did you do wrong? If they were upset, how do you fix it? Your job wasn't to be a child. Your job was to manage the emotional climate of the adults around you. Psychology calls this parentification. You didn't choose it. You were assigned it by silence, by need, by default. Now you're the person in every room who feels everyone else's discomfort before your own, who apologizes when someone else is angry, who smooths things over before tension can even land. Not because you enjoy it, because your nervous system was trained early that calm air was your responsibility to maintain. The last lesson is the one that goes the deepest, the one that shapes not just how you love others, but whether you believe you deserve to be loved at all. Lesson 5. It's not safe to be seen. The real you, uncertain, needing, complicated, was never welcomed. When you showed up that way, the room got uncomfortable, or you got redirected, or nothing happened at all, which was worse. So you built a version that was easier, more manageable, one that didn't ask for too much, or feel too loudly, or take up too much space. And you wore that version so consistently that after a while, you forgot you'd built it. You thought it was you. Now intimacy feels dangerous, because intimacy requires letting someone see past the version. And somewhere inside you, a very old part still believes, if they see all of it, they'll leave.
These 5 lessons weren't the truth. They were the only conclusion available to a child who didn't have enough information. A child can't look at an emotionally unavailable parent and say, "This is their wound, not my worth." A child can only ask, What must be wrong with me? And build a life around the answer. But you're not a child anymore, and the most important thing you can do now isn't to erase what was taught. It's to recognize it, name it, and decide whether you still believe it. You weren't too much. They weren't enough. There's a difference, and that difference changes everything. Which of these 5 lessons did you grow up carrying? Comment the number below. And if you want more psychology that explains patterns you didn't know you had, subscribe to this channel. We break down human behavior without judgment, without fluff, just real psychology that makes sense.